Respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. You didn't allow yourself to hold yourself back because of lack of love, because someone didn't know how to show up for you. You had trauma and pain endured with you from a child point of view and it went into your adulthood, what made you so dysfunctional. You was willing to overcome the obstacles that was placed in front of you to better yourself, to understand, to be mentally stable, not unstable at the end of the day. You didn't want to become your own worst enemy. Showing up for you to better you. Showing up for choosing you. Showing up for you when they try to dim your light, to discourage you that day. It was your reality. It was your existence, but you was willing to choose you. To come out your comfort zone, to better yourself, to love yourself correctly, never dim your light because they gave up on you. It was a thought process for me. It was your reality. You was faced with challenges after challenges, dealing with sickness, only to realize you wanted to better your health, not to make yourself mentally sick, not to make yourself mentally sick. You wanted to better yourself, to choose yourself, to understand your true self-reflection. The lack of love that they showed you. You didn't know what love was up close in person, but you knew how to show it for somebody that day. They didn't understand your view. When they tried to discourage you, you still knew how to respect somebody. Loving yourself is not a crime. Never allow someone to dim your light because they don't know how to treat you right. Being patient with time. Recognizing you are worthy. They humiliated you. They disrespected you. They shortchanged you when they took your kindness for weakness, when it came to communication skills that day. You didn't want to become your own worst enemy. Being a victim. You realized at the end of the day that everybody wasn't supposed to be part of your journey. You chose you. When they overlooked you, you found peace within. It wasn't a walk in the park to understand and recognize your self-reflection of yourself, because you wasn't trying to dim your light. They would never understand the obstacles that was placed in front of you, how you was willing to overcome them, to show up and believe in yourself, to recognize that, wow, just because someone didn't know how to value my time and day, I am worthy. I am worthy of choosing me. I am worthy of not getting discouraged. I am worthy of loving me. I am worthy of enduring peace within me that God allowed me to see. The energy is different when you truly self-reflect, to go within, to understand your true self-awareness. Never allow someone to label you. And I say that respectfully. Mislead you, misguide you. It really be the thought process for me. When someone wants to control the narrative of your life at the end of the day, but they can't get in line, they can't get in their own lane at the end of the day, to self-reflect and mean what they say, to get in line. It really be the thought process for me. How when you're willing to choose yourself, to better yourself, they put you in secret competition and they project their own issues on themselves, only for them to realize and self-reflect, to go within, that you wasn't the issue that day. All you wanted to do was better yourself. You understood the obstacles that was placed in front of you that made you so confused one day. You was allowing yourself to understand your reality, to allow yourself to become an existent, that you are worthy, to overcome the mindset of being dysfunctional when it came to pain. Things would never be the same when you understood growth. Things would never be the same when you understood self-control. Things would never be the same. Allowing yourself to go within. They didn't understand. Looking for somebody to show you that you was your biggest cheerleader. When you thought they were supposed to be rooting you on. And they was only discouraging you that day. Only for you to realize that, wow, how God placed a table right in front of you. And for you to really self-reflect and realize at the end of the day that, wow, I am my biggest fan. I'm cheering me on every single day to choose me, to better me. I'm cheering me on when they overlook me. I'm cheering me on when they judge the book by its cover. They try to dim my light. They took my kindness or weakness. But I not allow that to let me lose me. I lost enough time and day. I can't gain that back. But I can understand and self-reflect, to go within. To understand at the end of the day, I'm emotionally stable today. When you realize you become your own existence, that you are worthy when they gave up on you. Never allow someone to dim your light because someone mistreated you. And you was truly grateful for you to allow you to see another day. Recognizing your faith, bettering yourself, loving yourself correctly. It wasn't a walk in the park, but you was only moving accordingly. Realizing everybody wasn't supposed to be part of your journey. Someone that you said you loved, that you cared for, they misused you. They abused you. They humiliated you. They allowed you to feel like you had to question yourself. Are you even worthy? But that doesn't live in you today. Because what's truly for you ain't going to go against you. What's truly for you ain't going to dim your light. You recognize at the end of the day, I got to be my authentic self with no malicious intentions. Not allow someone's projecting their pain to project on me at the end of the day. But to understand my light, that I am worthy. Never get discouraged, and I say that respectfully. Never allow a temporary situation to misuse you. But allow it to be the lesson of a self-reflection at the end of the day, so that you can look back on and say why you choose you today when they gave up on you to project pain on you. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime, so never allow someone to dim your light. They don't understand why you pray. They don't understand how you pray. They don't understand how you showing up for yourself today. When you ain't got malicious intentions, you just trying to show yourself the way that God is allowing you to see, because you're able to recognize your faith, that you are worthy. Don't get discouraged today. You was willing to see that your blessings was in front of you. You was willing to see to remove the mask, to be real with you. You was willing to see at the end of the day, everybody's not going to big you up the way you cheer on you. You know, your biggest cheerleader, you rooting for you when they overlooked you. Here's the thought process for me. How God works in mysterious ways. Never get discouraged because someone misused you, mistreated you, disrespected you. They threw spell work at you in a toxic way. They don't understand how you showing up for yourself today. You may pray differently, but you ain't got no malicious intentions towards your neighbor. When you're just trying to better yourself, to uplift yourself, not to become your own worst enemy. It's a thought process for me. Always be yourself with no malicious intention. I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody. Always be your authentic self. When you ain't got malicious intentions, being your authentic self is no such thing as you doing something wrong. Expressing yourself, choosing yourself, loving yourself, being patient with yourself, being kind to yourself. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. It's not a crime to love yourself. And I say that respectfully. Always be yourself. Regardless if someone doesn't understand where you're coming from at the end of the day, always be your authentic, genuine self. You can't be nobody else but you. Because what's for you is going to respect you. What's for you will show up for you with no malicious intentions. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody. Healing trauma and pain would never be an overnight process. But never allow someone to dim your light because you choose you. They gave up on you, they overlooked you, they judged a book by its cover, they lied on your name, they disrespected you. But you matter and you are worthy. Don't get discouraged today, and I say that respectfully. Continue to be patient with your process. My content is not for everybody. It's not, and that's okay. But never allow someone to mistreat you, misuse you because you choose you. And you ain't out here doing nothing for likes and views, let alone a comment at the end of the day, because you're living your reality, your existence. It ain't about money at the end of the day. Because when the money is gone and the money is not in front of you at the end of the day, you got to see your self-reflection and look in the mirror to tune into who you are. Money can't buy peace. Money can't buy fixing trauma. And I say that respectfully. How much money you think you're going to spend on that doctor? Because it starts with you choosing you. My content is not for everybody, and a lot of people may not agree, but it's okay. But I know how to respect my neighbor regardless of my sexual orientation and regardless of me knowing at the end of the day, yeah, neighbor, we may not pray the same, but I'm not praying against my neighbor. I'm praying for my neighbor to see better days ahead. It's a thought process for me. Money can't bring back the dead. And I say that respectfully. So when someone is grieving, at the end of the day, no money on the table would be able to fix that problem at the end of the day. Be mindful and wise who you're judging. I say that respectfully, neighbor. Someone just lost a loved one, so you mean to tell me at the end of the day, they could pay all this money at the end of the day to bring that loved one back? And especially if someone is not in tune with themselves spiritually, they're not going to understand the direction at the end of the day. That loved one never left by their side. So be mindful and wise what you say to me at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully. It's a thought process for me. I don't disrespect my neighbor. I don't attack my neighbor. I don't have to discourage my neighbor. I don't got to kick my neighbor down at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I uplift my neighbor. So your malicious intentions, save it for your mama. And I say that respectfully. It really be the thought process for me. How someone would stereotype and judge somebody at the end of the day. And they mentally can't even go with them because they're so miserable. But they're so quick to judge you. Everybody's faith is different. Everybody don't believe in the same thing. But what I do know for certain, and two things for sure at the end of the day, respect goes a long way. It sure enough do. Respect goes a long way. Stay in your lane, neighbor. Be mindful and wise when you're projecting your negative energy and your animosity at the end of the day, because you can't understand your own receiver at the end of the day, because you keep ignoring your blueprint as to you acknowledging yourself to love yourself. Someone gave you lack of love. Someone didn't respect you at the end of the day. So you got to come out here and just and try to kick somebody down and discourage them because you don't have the strong mental state at the end of the day to understand true self-awareness and stay in your lane. That everybody's not meant for you, and that's okay. But you ain't got to project your negative energy on anybody. And I say that respectfully. This is why I say everybody's not for you, and that's okay. Ain't no dollar in this world would be able to fix the fact that, wow, I can't get time back that I lost when someone sexually assaulted me as a child. I can't pay no dollar in this world to get back of a relationship that I was in and I was valuing someone's time and day at the end of the day. I can't get that time back. I can't pay for that at the end of the day. That's time that's taken from me. And my innocent neighbor that understood at the end of the day that, wow, I showed up for somebody, I respected somebody in the most healthiest way, not to them they light. You can't pay for time that was missed out on, that somebody didn't know how to value your time and day. They had so many excuses at the end of the day why they couldn't love you, why they couldn't respect you, but you knew how to show up for them. No dollar in this world will be able to gain back time for what you experienced in life, and I say that respectfully. Either you was dealing with even being homeless and things that you experienced in your life at the end of the day. People fall short and things happen in their life. Things happen. God forbid someone just lost everything within the fire at the end of the day. They just lost everything that they put their time and energy to, that they got up every single day and worked so hard for, and they lost it all. They can't gain back that. Ain't no dollar in the world be able to fix that problem. They bought things at the end of the day that meant so much to them. Yeah, it was materialistic things, but it was something value to them. Because when you have something that's so valuable, it's bigger than materialistic things. When you have something so valuable that you cannot get back, like a picture, a letter from a loved one, that you cannot gain back. No dollar in this world will be able to bring that back. Time that a person wrote that letter and they no longer in this world. It's the thought process to me. It's the one-sided mindset that individuals have at the end of the day. You know, it's not a crime to think for yourself, but be mindful and wise who you project your energy on. And I say that respectfully, neighbor. It's the thought process for me. This type of stuff happens every single day, and it's so unhealthy. How your neighbor would discourage you, how your neighbor would kick you down because you have confidence within yourself. You show up for yourself every single day. It really be the thought process to me. Everybody's not for you. You know, the one thing I know, what I realized about school, from a child point of view, what I always used to hear, if you ain't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. I never understood that. How you taught that in elementary school, and those tools didn't go with you and into your adulthood. You pick and choose who you want to bully. You pick and choose who you want to manipulate. You pick and choose who you want to discourage at the end of the day. It's the thought process for me, neighbor. It really be the thought process for me. When it comes to discrimination, when it comes to racism, it's so disgusting, the lack of awareness that certain individuals have in regards to your culture, your religion, your sexual orientation, your disability at the end of the day. That was one of the first things that you learned as a child. If you didn't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. People lose their life every single day because of the mindset of someone so low vibrational, someone so discouraging at the end of the day that don't have self-control, and they say that's so real. It's the thought process for me. My content is not for everybody, and that is okay. But it's the common sense at the end of the day when in the math it ain't mathing, and you say that you're grown. You're an adult. You're real. How could you possibly be real at the end of the day and you're kicking somebody down? Like, make it make sense, neighbor. The math don't make sense at the end of the day. The good God is not for sale, and I say that respectfully, and I do not worship the devil. But make it make sense at the end of the day. We live in a society today where it became the norm for adults to bully children. It became the norm for adults to bully people with disability. It became the norm for adults to have the mindset of destroying each other. And then guess what? It falls into the lap of children that they have to deal with bullyism every single day. It may not be your household, but it's somebody's household. That a mother and a father that can't protect their baby every single day. And their child has to deal with bullyism at the end of the day. It's so disgusting. It really is. It's so disgusting. It's nothing cute about it. Don't make you attractive at the end of the day. It's disgusting. I don't get on this platform and I'm not looking for a dollar. I never did, and I'm far from a clout chaser. And I say that respectfully, neighbor. But it's so disgusting and disturbing to see how society allows you to believe that this is the norm of the behavior at the end of the day. How you supposed to send your baby off to school? A schoolhouse full of a whole bunch of kids at the end of the day. Your baby getting to that schoolhouse. Your baby's being bullied by somebody's child at the end of the day. And only to realize that child is being bullied because of the fact that the lack of love in that household, the lack of respect in that household. The mother and the father is going through a divorce right now. So they bickering and arguing. So this baby is so frustrated that they go to the schoolhouse and bother the innocent child. Or they pick up these type of behaviors and think it's the norm to bully somebody. It's the thought process for me. And what's more disgusting to see is how you say that you're real and you're an adult and you bully a baby. How do you bully a baby? Like, make it make sense. How do you bully a child? Do you not understand that the mindset of this baby now that's been bullied as a child, it goes into their adulthood. And sometimes this is what happens in society today, that child becomes the bully, or that child becomes to the mindset of psyching their own selves of their own freedom. And we have too many cases in the society that a mother and father is grieving because that baby was bullied so bad. And that baby was so scared to tell their mother or their father what was going on in that schoolhouse. Because they try to be so strong for themselves. That poor baby. And I would hate that. I would hate that to be you. That parent. And even if you're not a parent yet, when you bring a child into this world. I would hate that for you. Because what happens in society today, folks can't protect their babies every minute, every second on the clock. They can't, regardless of how old they are. Because I know a lot of people who's an adults that have their parents that's still around that still protect their baby no matter how old they are. Regardless if they're a child point of view, at the end of the day, if they're an adult or not, that's still a baby. That's still a baby. So be mindful and wise when you're judging somebody. Be mindful and wise what you're projecting into the universe. And I say that respectfully, neighbor. I don't wish bad on my neighbor. I do not play with Spoic in a toxic way, not even no shape or form. But at the end of the day, let me tell you something. Be mindful and wise how you're moving with certain folks at the end of the day. Because your karma, trust and believe, it's on its way. I ain't got to project negative energy to you, but you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Karma may not hit your ass right there and then, but trust and believe you're going to fall flat on your ass. And you really going to feel it. You're not understanding why these obstacles is happening in your life. Why things are happening. Why you so depressed. Why is this going on in your life? Why is that going on in your life? Because it's you. You're the problem. And it's so disgusting to see that the enemy sits back. And these are the rules of the game that they put out. That it became such the norm. To be dysfunctional, to be toxic people. And it's not the norm. There's nothing cute or attractive about it. This stuff been going on for too long and it's so unhealthy. Because what happens now is that innocent baby that's in that schoolhouse, they're being bullied so bad. You have kids that go to school just to go to school, to pick up that book and do their work. They don't go to school to fight. You're not a mother and a father and a guardian is not sending a child to school to fight. It's the mindset for me. It's the one-sided, not the coherent is not making sense when it comes to being real. Everybody's so gangster. But that's a baby. That's a baby. That's a baby. That's a child of God. It should be no reason why a baby should be going to school fighting every single day, defending themselves, protecting themselves at the end of the day, regardless of their culture, their religion, their sexual orientation, or their disability, or their age. And I say that respectfully. It be the one-sided mindsets for me. And folks quick to say, I'm real, I'm real, I'm real. Just because you brought a child into this world don't make you real, let alone a parent. And I say this respectfully. Yeah, I don't have children. But at the end of the day, I know what's right and what's wrong. I know what's right and what's wrong. And how dare you tell me I shouldn't have room to talk about this at the end of the day? That's the problem with people today. That's the problem. It's the one-sided mindset. If you had more respect for your neighbor, we would have a better community. We would have a better environment for everybody around us. We wouldn't have to worry about lack of respect, lack of awareness, lack of this, lack of that. And I say that respectfully because we're supposed to live in a world at peace with ourselves. But it's so corrupted, it's so dysfunctional, and it's so unhealthy. It really is. My content is not for everyone. God is not for sale. That's first and foremost. God is not for sale. And my content is not for everyone. It's not. But the behavior is so uncalled for. It's so uncalled for. It really is. On my platform, I never say nobody's name. But I had a session the other day. I am a healer. I had a session the other day. And it broke my heart. Everybody's not built for certain things, and that's okay. But when God puts you in position to become your best self vision of yourself, to help your neighbor, you got to do what you got to do with no malicious intentions. And it's not about money at the end of the day. And I say this respectfully. But what I heard and what I seen and what I experienced that day is like these type of situations when it comes to these babies, it's getting worse and worse and worse. It's getting worse. It's getting so out of control. It doesn't make any sense. How a child that's such a good student, so smart, goes to a school and they would never be the same anymore. All because of bullying. All because someone bullied them. They had to deal with bullyism for a long time. And it's sad to say that a child be so scared to go to their guardian that loves them so much that will protect them. And they will feel like they're saying the wrong thing to that guardian and saying, somebody's bothering me. This baby's been bullied for a very long time. And the school year just started. But the school year previous before this baby's been bullied for a long time. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. It shouldn't have to take for the guardian to go into a child's room to find a letter or find stuff and this baby want to psych themselves like they own freedom. The guardian is tripping like, what's going on? They not even aware what's going on. Why is this acceptable? Why is this behavior okay? You send your child to school to respect their neighbor, to respect the teacher, to do their work, participate, go to lunch, go home, but they're going to school and they got to defend themselves against a child that doesn't have self-control. This behavior is not cool. It really is not. And this type of stuff happens every single day. It does. When you least expect it. Someone is getting bullied at school because the guardian dresses that baby decent. That baby is loved. That baby is respected. A hater gonna always be a hater, right? But why do you have to have haters in elementary school? Why is bullyism going on in elementary school? Why is that the first start? And then what makes it so bad is because this mindset of being a bully, it goes into certain individuals' adulthood and it became the norm and they pick and choose who they want to bully because that's what it is in school. Certain bullies, they not going to just bully just anybody. They going to pick out the one who they think is the most vulnerablest one, the most kindest one, the one who lacks awareness. And things not going to fight back until they get checkmate. And it's so sad and disturbing that this type of behavior goes into the adulthood. It goes into the work environments. It's disgusting. It is so disgusting when it comes to discrimination. People want to pick and choose who they want to pick on. People want to pick and choose who they want to who they want to bring harm towards. And then they want to hide their hands and play victim. It doesn't matter if the guardian was in the house or not. A bully's a bully. You could come from a good, well-groomed household and you could still be a bully. Your moms and your pops could be financially stable and you could still be a bully. So stereotyping, at the end of the day, there's no stereotyping when it comes to a bully. It's the thought process. I mean, why is this the norm? Why? I don't wish bad on nobody, loved one, at all, no shape or form. But this behavior is unacceptable. It really is. And that's not how God created us to be. God did not create us to discourage each other. God did not create us to disrespect each other. And my content is not for everyone. It's not. It's not. And that's okay. Because people are so used to this mindset of being a bully, of being so low vibrational, of being so... The lack of self-awareness, it doesn't make any sense. And people want to blame trauma. But when you're saying that you're an adult and you grown, what happened to common sense? Why do you lack that so much? It really be the thought process of me. That's why I don't be understanding. That's why when you having conversations with certain adults that scream that they're adults at the end of the day, you got to be mindful and wise who you're talking to. Because everybody doesn't have common sense. Everybody is not real. Never allow a book to... Don't never judge a book by its cover. And I say that respectfully when it comes to common sense, because you'll be so surprised. And I say that respectfully. This is so this is unacceptable. It really is, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. When I tell you it's getting worse, it's getting worse. Even just going on the internet and looking at certain comments, how an adult can have so much negative to say about a child. That's a baby. Mental health is really real. Because where's your common sense? Like you really that traumatized? You mean to tell me you really that brainwashed? That bad? You really that brainwashed? You know how to show up for everything else, but you mean to tell me that you bully a baby? A baby is ugly? Are you serious? Are you serious? Or you sitting there talking about somebody's disability? Are you serious? And you know what's sad and disturbing to see? It was a case that I had. Someone was a bully so bad, and they wanted forgiveness. But it was too late. They got into a bad car wreck, and they couldn't even recognize themselves anymore. And they became their own worst enemy. They thought they was their own worst enemy before. He sat there and called people ugly, all this other disgusting names. And now you can't even recognize yourself. Imagine that. All the projection that you put into the universe. Karma shows up when you least expect it. Karma shows up. Karma may not be dished out when you dish it out. Sometimes some people get it right there and then. You'd be so surprised. Like, wait, hold on, dang, it happened that fast? But karma shows up when you least expect it. Nobody had to pray against this person. Nobody had to do spell work on this person. This person projected their own energy on themselves. Because that's how bad they was showing up towards innocent people. And they was playing victim. You'd be so surprised that stuff happens every single day. A lot of people would say, oh, well, how could that possibly be? Just because you never experienced it yet, or you never experienced it, I don't wish it on you. But people go through this type of stuff every single day. They do. As a community, folks really need to do better. They do. And being kind to people needs to be part of the routine. It really does. I know that's not going to be ever be an overnight process. Never. But going against each other it ain't gonna get us but so far. It's another generation that's coming up, and they need to know what respect looks like up close in person. They do. Not dysfunctional behavior, not toxic folks, not hurting somebody. Got adults walking around saying they grown, they real at the end of the day. Talking about what they gonna do to somebody. Bring hurt and pain towards somebody. Like at the end of the day, what is that really doing for you? You a gangster at the end of the day, like for real? Like, let's be real. Why would you want to live in a society where you're hurting innocent people? It really be the thought process to me. This type of stuff is happening every single day, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. While the enemy just sits back and is just watching it like a game. It's just watching it like a game. The enemy don't got to do nothing. All everybody's doing is just self-destructing. Not everybody, but when you know, you know. It's so unhealthy. It really is so unhealthy. It really is, and it's sad. It really is sad. And what the problem is society today, these folks don't have a resolution for this type of stuff and this behavior. You suspend the child for weeks at a time, but that child goes back to school and that baby's traumatized now. So now why does a child have to change their class, be transferred to a different school, all because of a bully? Does that make any sense? That's just like on a job site. Regardless of how long you've been there or not, or whatever environment that you in, your living situation or whatever, someone is bullying you or whatever the case may be, discriminating against you or being racist towards you at the end of the day. Why do you have to remove yourself because someone doesn't have self-control, someone lacks self-awareness? It's not fair. You were sitting there minding your business, and someone just came and discriminated against you. So now you gotta now you uncomfortable, more than uncomfortable. Now you gotta remove yourself because of the fact that someone didn't have self-control. Someone decided, okay, I want to disrespect you today when you had peace with yourself today, and you were just minding your business. It really be the thought process to me. How this type of stuff happens every single day. It does. It is so unhealthy. It really is. When it comes to discrimination, when it comes to racism, when it comes to violence, hate crime, it's so unhealthy. It really is. It's unhealthy. Everybody talking about their leader at the end of the day. But why is pain the norm? Everybody's such a leader, but why is pain the norm? Everybody's so real, but why is pain the norm? You know, healing trauma and pain, regardless if it was endured from a child point of view going into your adulthood, it would never be an overnight process. Never. Always protect yourself and protect your loved ones. And I say that respectfully. And I'm about to wrap this video up. I want to say this respectfully. You could judge me all you want, but I say this respectfully. Be mindful and wise when you're going outside. Wash your hands on a daily basics, please and thank you. Wash your hands on a regular. Be mindful of the people that you come in contact with. When you know, you know. And I say that respectfully. Protect yourself out here, people. And I say that respectfully. It's a thought process to me. Be mindful of getting sick. My content ain't for everybody, but it's really the thought process for me. I don't like stuff like this at all. I don't like the fact that we live in a society where our neighbors go against each other because someone's upbringing, the lack of respect, and it became the norm for so long, and it's so unhealthy. It really is. It's so unhealthy. Respect is a two-way street. And how the youngins is supposed to go the right direction if the adults can't get it together. The adults can't get it together at the end of the day. They supposed to look up to the adults as role models to go the right direction. It's the thought process to me. You know, everybody is not the same when it comes to lack of self-awareness, lack of respect. Not everybody's the same, because there are individuals who get up every single day and have self-respect for themselves, and they do not lack the respect, the disrespect to their neighbor. They're kind. They don't take their neighbor's kindness for weakness. They don't have to sit there and play their neighbor close to have malicious intentions. We are all not the same, but it's just the mindset for me. My content is not for everybody, but always protect your energy. Always protect your energy. And always protect your loved ones with no malicious intentions. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody. It's not. Loving yourself not to dim your light. Loving yourself not to mislead you. It's kind of funny how God works in mysterious ways. I gotta go. When an enemy wants you to give up. When an enemy wants you to live in fear and be discouraged. But God allows you to become your existence. Becoming your best self vision of yourself. Believing in hope. Recognize that you are worthy when someone try to dim your light that day. Don't get discouraged, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody. It's not. Peace and respect, say respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. Peace and respect, say respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. Stop the violence. It's a thought process for me. Being a hater in disguise, it ain't gonna make sense at the end of the day. You know why it's not gonna make sense at the end of the day? That's not how God installed us to be. Being a hater. God did not install that within us. Hate. The enemy did. And when you become your own worst enemy, you ain't gonna be able to see the reality of your existence, of becoming your best self vision of yourself. Because you're too busy trying to dim somebody else's light. Playing them close enough to see them woke. Paying somebody to bring harm towards an innocent person that you want to play victim. Or because you couldn't understand self-awareness and mentally go within. You didn't want someone to elevate faster than you. How God is truly protecting that child of God with no malicious intentions. Being a hater in disguise is so unhealthy. There's nothing attractive about you. Not even a little bit. Be careful when you try to play close, and I say that respectfully. Especially when you try to discourage them in the most unhealthiest way to make them mentally unstable. It's sad and disturbing to see how people gotta play with spell work not to see somebody woke. It became your challenge at the end of the day. Wow. Now you mentally gotta go within to recognize at the end of the day mental health is really real. That the mask fell off and you truly wasn't aware of yourself. You wasn't at peace with yourself. You definitely wasn't real. Only to realize you asking God for forgiveness on your knees. Now you truly paying attention. What awareness. It really be the thought process for me. My content is not for everybody. But always be yourself. Especially when you don't got malicious intentions, regardless of your sexual orientation, your disability, your age, your culture, or your religion. And I say that respectfully. Being a hate in disguise, it's so unattractive. It really is. Ain't nothing cute about you at all. Looks are very deceiving at the end of the day. They wear a mask, saying that they so real at the end of the day. What a bad habit. Became their norm, only to realize they had to redirect themselves to understand where to go, where they went wrong. They said the lack of love, the lack of respect, someone they know how to love them or show up for them, the value their time and day. So they rather misuse somebody. They said, hurt people, hurt people. Who came up with that idea? Because that's not the norm. Hurt people, hurt people. Yeah. It's the thought process for me. It's not the norm. We need to change that vocabulary ASAP. Because it doesn't sound attractive at all. It don't. Because what happens is, a hurt person hurts an innocent person. Not hurt people hurt people. Now the person is hurt because of the fact that you projected your pain on that person, so now they're hurt. That's how that went. It was a mind manipulation game at the end of the day, this whole entire time. It's a thought process for me. That's why I say common sense ain't common sense. At the end of the day, everybody's so real at the end of the day. Only for you to reevaluate your thought process at the end of the day that, wow, it truly makes sense. Hurt people hurt people. A person was a victim. They was minding their business. They wasn't projecting pain on you at that end of the day, that day. But you decided to project pain on them. Now they felt your pain. And that's what it became, the hurt people hurt people. So you was looking for somebody to go tick for tack with you, but only to realize you was truly the issue, that you couldn't antagonize that person that day. It's a thought process. I mean, when they try to antagonize certain individuals and they not getting the reaction that they thought they was going to get, what of you? How they truly be picking up their own face like, dang, I was projecting my animosity on somebody when it came to my drama. I only realized I didn't get the reaction that I wanted to. And it's sad and disturbing how people go a milestone just to get a reaction out of you, only for them to fall short. They fall short real bad. Because certain individuals do not lack self-respect. Regardless of what trauma was endured with them from a child point of view and it went into their adulthood. It really be the thought process for me. My content is not for everybody. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I attribute time to the genuine ones only. I truly hope that you have a safe week ahead of you. Protect your energy. Continue to be safe out here. Love yourself. Love on your loved ones. Protect your energy. Loving yourself is not a crime. And healing trauma and pain would never be an overnight process. Let alone, it's not a race. It's not a race to heal. But you matter your word. You don't get discouraged today. Niyah Genuine Love Respect. I am the original owner of all my content, word for word, and I say that respectfully. And being a copycat at the end of the day, you're going for a show when it comes to common sense at the end of the day, because that's not who you truly are. It's real. I truly hope that you find your own identity, being yourself in the most healthiest way, neighbor. Believe innocent people alone. It'd be a thought process for me. Niyah Genuine Love Respect. Have a good day. Protect your energy. Be safe out here. Thank you for your time.